Yeah, Mr. Hope. Of course, me myself, I'm getting ready for it to trust me because, you know, and again, the guest speaker, right, is going to be awesome. Trust me. I mean, I'm not going to, that is a different information. So you guys should not expect me to actually reveal it. But I think the flyer or the design is enough for you to anticipate what is coming from that meeting, honestly. And I don't want anyone to miss it. Like, it's going to be superb. So please be there. All right. Okay. So yeah, another thing I wanted to do is excuse me. Another thing I wanted to do is this. Let me see. Can I share the entire tab or the window? Yeah, I can. So let me do that. Okay, can we? Let me just what was it? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so yeah, so this is Cyber Million Lab. Again, this is yeah. So I intentionally put this up again, right? Because you know, I in this field you share resources, you share a lot of things with one another so that we can all be on the same page. So this is one interesting website. If you have, maybe you pick up data you want to analyze, you just bring it here, you upload it. If this is looking strange to you, don't worry, we'll get there, we'll fix it. But please just take a note of it, right? It's packet total, right? I will still definitely will still get there. I'm just by the way. Um, Incident response. This one, this incident response. Okay, no, this one.
May I ask a question from the class, if you don't mind?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
First thing, I would like to apologize. I did not raise hand. Can anybody explain us why? Leave the screen as it is. Can anybody explain us why Splunk and incident response are clubbed together? Whatever comes to your mind, do raise your voice, please.
Sorry, even myself, I didn't get the question. What was the question, sir?
Okay. We have done Splunk exercise. Okay. The next exercise after this is incident response.
Mhm.
Understand? My question is why they are clubbed together.
Why I
They should.
didn't? Why I did
Why?
not?
No. Why are they clubbed together? Why there is no
Hmm.
command line, Linux command line after Splunk or Windows concept after Splunk? There should be introduction to incident response and then incident response, but they are clubbed together. Do you understand the connection?
hmm. Uh, to be honest, myself, I'm struggling to
Yes.
understand the question, but I don't know if anyone do for the understand.
I'll just answer my own question. See,
Uh,
when we were doing Splunk, we were detecting incidents. We were detecting things that were which just already had happened or about to happen. So incident response and Splunk, they are correlated to each other. That's why they are clubbed together. When you will study Splunk or a security analyst into CSA, then or SOC analyst, then you will see they will be
Okay. All right. So I'm back. Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Fahim. I just had to start recording. So yeah, I didn't pretty much hear large part of what you said, but I believe it was something resourceful. Mr. Nonso and Mr. Hope, I just want to be sure that this is the particular lab, right?
Yes.
Okay, so um, again, I was asked from this data exfiltration to parsing to phishing vulnerabilities, right? Everything, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, all right. All right. Who did? Who did? So okay, let's get to it. This looks interesting. So this is incident response. So the way the labs are, of course, they help us to understand 800 and 803, right? So once an attack has occurred, there has been an indication of a compromise. Yeah? So the incident response analyst will investigate what caused the issue and its effect on the system. So there are many different signs of compromise, and you should know as many as possible. Right, right. Okay, so now let's start with the first one. Okay, so we have a desktop, and I think we all know, as I normally like to do, I always like us to read the briefing, right? Because it helps us to understand what is happening. So data exfiltration is the process of transferring information from a target network to an external location under the control of the attacker. So while some adversaries will export the data using the same protocol utilized during the command and control phase, others will take a different approach, such as FTP, HTTP, or SMTP. We all know what these protocols are: file transfer protocol, hypertext transfer protocol, and the simple message transfer protocol. So yeah, let's go. So an example is many organizations will monitor both incoming and outgoing connections, and attackers will use range of techniques in order to avoid that detection, which makes sense, right? So for example, an attacker or attackers generally have been known to utilize the Windows Background Intelligent Transfer Service, right? Just a second. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, so attackers have been, they have been known to utilize this transfer service using the BITS admin command tool. So because why this service is primarily used for downloading Windows updates, and it's able to bypass many systems and firewall restrictions, allowing the user to transfer files to and fro compromised hosts. So the detection. So attempts to transfer this data outside of a network can be identified by monitoring network traffic for abnormal behavior. So for example, connections where the client has sent significantly more data than it has received could be considered suspicious. This makes sense. Right? So system administrators also want to investigate these processes, which doesn't look like a normal utilization of network resources. And then, of course, because this would definitely use significantly more bandwidth, which is otherwise considered normal. And then, furthermore, we analyze this network packets to highlight instances where those protocol behavior does not match what is expected for a given port. Interesting, interesting. Now, how do we mitigate from this? Remember, that was detecting these. Now, how do we mitigate from these? Now, data exfiltration can be mitigated by configuring network firewalls, so they only allow necessary traffic to enter and to exit the network on specific ports. So, for example, if the FTP is not a business requirement, let's block it. Let's block everything that is associated with that service, FTP, so that we can reduce the number of ways that sensitive data potentially leaves the network, which makes sense. Yeah. Now, the use of network intrusion detection and prevention systems can also help us to reduce the risk of this exfiltration by using network signatures to identify malicious activities. So furthermore, the use of proxies and dedicated service could also, help us to reduce the number of avenues that an adversary can take to exploit this data. Now, what are we doing in this lab? Now, in this lab, we've been alerted to suspicious network activity and we'll be given a PCAP. Remember, I brought us here, right? And we can see drag and drop a PCAP. So you guys see that, for one reason or the other, I just put that up because I knew we could find it useful. So we'll do something around there. Let's just keep going. Wait, can we all see my screen? How I'm toggling between the two. Can we see it? Am I still in the meeting?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
please.
All right, ma'am. Thank you. So on a closer inspection, it appears that a compromised host has connected to a Samba server, which is being used to store backup data. Now, the files downloaded by the host have been transferred to an external location. This is shown in the image below. So to complete this lab, we need to analyze the PCAP to understand what happened before answering the questions. Okay. We need to analyze the PCAP. Okay. So analyze the network activity.pcap file located on the desktop. Okay. So this is the PCAP we're analyzing, right? Okay. So first of all, where is our Wireshark? Which system is this? This is Linux, right? Yeah, this looks like a Linux. But again, let's see. This is just web browser setting. Okay.
The file is on the desktop.
Yeah, I know, sir. I'm just
Go to application.
Yeah, I've been to applications.
No, go to application and don't go to internet. No, please. Internet and this Wireshark.
Okay, yeah, Wireshark. Good. Yeah. So I was looking for Wireshark. Yeah, so this was what I was looking for. Let me see. Can we start this up from a command line? Okay, so yeah, I was going to start it up because I was finding it hard to locate. Oh, sorry. So that's the thing. I mustn't close that tab, right? Yeah, that's right. Linux. That's Linux for you. Can I minimize it though? Yeah. Okay, so let's work now. Let's work. First of all, let's make this big. Let's go to File. Let's open Desktop, and then we have the network activity. Okay. So now what's the first thing they asked us to do? They said, what is the IP address of the Samba server used to back up files? So we need to find the IP address of the Samba server, right? How many CSV were downloaded from the Samba server? What protocol was used? What username was used? Okay, let's see if we analyze the network activity. This network here, okay. Let's see if there are any things here. FTP host internet. Okay. I'm just checking there to see what we have, what we got. Okay. Yeah, we need to actually do some research on this one, but no worry, we got it figured out. So let me look.
Sorry to intervene once again, sir.
No, sure.
Go back to the beginning of the file. Samba server, you need to look for abbreviation. For example, whenever we're talking about Samba server, we are talking about SMB files. So you see from the top row protocols, look into the protocols, and just before TCP, there's an SMB2. Click on it, and then you will see source and destination IP addresses. So The question is, what is the IP address of the Samba server used to backup files? So
Mm-hmm.
one of them is the answer.
True. You're right.
And why is the answer that you can explain?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you, sir, for that. So, of course, you know, um, I think we're just interacting with Wireshark, for the first time, right? From this lab, and again, yeah, it's a good tool. So I'm just thinking, where do I start from to explain, a lot of things? So, but just like Mr. Fahim has highlighted, right? So we're looking for a Samba file or a Samba, what's it called, folder. So we already have this. So one thing you should also look at is, you see these two arrows here. So this means that this was the request and this was the receive. So you see how this arrow points here. So it means, I mean, a lot of information. How Mr. Fahim is looking at this application right now, I know, will be different from how I'll be looking at it, right? Because I was about to go a long way into, starting to explain so many things for us, right? I mean, because again, it's important that we get to understand what we are seeing. So with that being said, though, let's look at this SMB, right? So we know the source is this, which we can also find here, right? Which is the Internet Protocol version 4. We can see the source IP address and the destination IP address, right? So, and the question is, what is the IP address of the Samba server used to back up the file? So definitely, the destination address, of course, would be the Samba, IP's address, right? Which is 172.17.0.12, right? Yeah. But again, we have tons of questions that we are asked to answer here, like how many CSV files, right? So another thing you can do is you can follow the TCP stream, right? Just to, although this information here right here might be a lot. Yeah, because they've asked us some questions. Okay, I'll just, so first of all, let's see. 172 dot, where is it? 172.17.0.2. Okay, so that's the IP address of the Samba, because again, it's the destination, right? So the source means from where, or the IP of the originating client, right? So the Samba is the server, whoever's IP address, of course, in this case, it will be the attacker's IP address. So definitely that's the attacker's IP address. But I mean, that's just one simple information, right? There, again, I said we have how many CSV files were downloaded, right? So we need to also check for that. So let me see. But I hope we did get how I got the IP address. Class, did we understand that part?
No.
Okay, good. So let me explain that. So we are looking for a protocol based on the briefing that we got, right, and which is a Samba server, right? And the Samba servers, they operate on the protocol of SMB, right? I'm looking for where they mentioned that. Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry, it's here in the question, right? It's saying what is the IP address of the Samba server, right? So one thing that you want to look out for is an SMB protocol, which is right here. That's why I said I was looking at how I can break this down, before I started answering those questions. So when you look at the Wireshark application, you see there's number here, there's time, there's source, there's destination, there's protocol, there's length info, there's length, and then there's info. All this means something. This is the data pane. It's called the data pane. This is the, I would say, the protocol pane, right? And then this is where you find these things you can see here in hexadecimals, right? Sometimes you get to see this hexadecimals being represented in plain text here, because I saw somewhere that they asked us some information, right? like here where they said what password was used to authenticate. So we might probably find that password in plain text at this pane. But let's get there. We'll get there. But I just want us to understand. So here is the traffic pane, which is the protocol where everything happens. Traffic in and out. Yeah, the traffic in and out, right? Sorry, class. Okay, yeah. So the traffic in and out, right? So again, look at when I clicked on the first packet, you could see something. You can see these two arrows. It means that this arrow sent and this arrow received. So this was the outgoing traffic, this was the ingoing traffic. I'm just showing you things that I'm taking notice of when I look at this, right? So again, this is Wireshark and it's used to analyze packets, right? So you notice how I went to impute this packet for us to analyze it, which is why I will do something again as well. I know this might be a lot of information, but don't worry. Let's just get it and let's understand it together, right? So there's no need for us to panic. Okay, so I'm trying to. Is that going to open up or what? Okay, let me use the browser. Let me use Firefox. You know why I'm doing this? Because I know, the way the interface of Wireshark might be a little bit cumbersome.
Hello, everybody.
I want to believe that is Mr. David, right?
Yes,
Are we,
sir.
are we connected to the internet? No. Okay, I guess that's why this is not. Okay. I guess that's why, because this lab might not be connected to the internet. So, anyways, I was going to put that pickup file into packet total, which is a more kind of appealing interface, right? That you'd be able to see some information. But again, let's write with what we are seeing. So we can see the source IP address. What the source IP address means is where did this traffic generate from? Again, this machine is not connected to the internet. Let me check. Let me check if it's actually connected. If I try to ping google.com. Yes, it's not connected to the internet. Yeah, so that's why we won't be able to do anything on there. Is Mr. Roberto trying to join? Is Mr. Roberto is here, right? Because I got his message. Okay, he's there. Yeah, so we're not connected to the internet. Guys, I'm just trying to see how I can break this down to the least way we understand it. So yeah, so I've told us about the source IP address, the destination IP address, right? So that's one thing you should always look out for. The source IP address will always be under this part of. Okay, don't mind me. This filter. Let me just cancel this filter. We'll go there, but not now. So now you always find the IP addresses where the traffic originated from. You always find it here, and then where the traffic is going to. So the machine you're trying to probe or you're trying to ping or you're transmitting information to, right? Therefore, you will always find the destination here. So this source and destination means from this IP address of the machine that is leaving, that's carrying the data to the destination where it wants to reach. Now, the protocol here means what protocol are they transmitting on, right? So if I click on this packet, for instance, right, you see right here, we can see it's a transmission control protocol from the source port of these to the destination port of 443, blah, blah, blah. You can see it here. Now, other informations that we can gather from here, but again, I'm just, careful of diverging so much to us. because I need us to understand it as well, right? So if I that's for TCP. If I click on the TLS again, you can see the protocol here has changed. Now it is transport layer security, right? But what are we looking for? We're looking for an SMB because the data, of course, is an SMB data. But wait, I think something is going on here. Yeah, I think some new packets were captured, maybe from the command I was trying to run. Okay, but either ways, the question is asking us for question one. What is the IP address of the Samba server used to back up files? So that means we need to know what the IP address of the Samba machine is, which brings us to the first SMB protocol we see here, which is this, right? Which is this. And then by the time we analyze it and we look at it, right? So we see that, okay, let me see. Let me look first. Okay, so we see, right? We can see the IP address. So the IP address definitely is from the 172.17.0.2 to the destination of this, right? For this packet, right? For this packet, I'm looking for the first packet. It's this one. It's this one. Let me see. I mean, there are other informations here that we can see, to be honest, like the MAC address of the source and all that. But again, just trying to pay attention to what we are looking for. So we can see the IP address. The source